Hello, Familia. Welcome back. In this week's episode, we're going to be talking about all things couple check-ins. What are they? How to have one? What are the pros? What are the cons? We cover it all. Hey, Enzo. Oh, this is probably too long for a voice note.
Hey, Claire. I know. Save it for the podcast.
Your space for an unfiltered and candid conversation.
Skip the small talk and dive in deep.
Hello. Welcome
hello.
back. We are back for another episode.
Of the new short but sweet
mini
season.
Mini episode 3.
Too long
How
for
are
a voice
you?
note. I'm good. I feel like a magician today.
Yeah, it's like octopus
I'm
hands.
Octopus hands. But anyway, yeah, I'm really good, Claire.
Yeah?
I'm really energized. I'm
Good.
really feeling like the London summer-ish.
I think it's such
bright,
good weather, isn't
sunny,
it? Incredible.
Kind of like everyone is in a better mood.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, how are you
definitely.
feeling? You feeling
oh,
good
good.
as well?
I'm feeling great.
Yeah, it's very exciting. Like, what is the third episode of the new mini season?
Crazy.
By this point, you have seen already our special episode.
Bloody good period.
Bloody good period.
Bloody good
It was
period.
a
Love
bloody good episode. So
love that conversation. It was so
really
good.
one.
Yeah, I'm going to leave a link in the cards if you're watching on
Yeah.
YouTube to check it out. And that was so great.
Yeah, so it's really good.
So I think it's time for Guess That Hum.
Oh, yes, true. I forgot that we have this new...
Guess That Hum.
Guess that hum.
Guess That Hum. My
we
turn.
need to do like a thing. Oh,
We need to do a jingle. Okay,
Okay,
let me.
let's do a
I think I
jingle.
did have a sneaky think about what I would do, but now I'm
Okay.
just trying to think how it goes. Okay, ready?
I am ready.
I
I know already. Oh, not like Jenny. Like Jenny. That's Jenny
Exactly.
from Blackpink. That she had the song
that
like
was
Jenny.
literally seconds,
So
Enzo. Well
it's
done.
like, well,
that you
I
did
think
great.
I think the song is very catchy.
This week I didn't have anything burning that I wanted to speak about.
Burning.
I was actually, as it does happen, so obviously, guys, we're human as well. If you didn't know, we are humans as well. And I couldn't think of a topic. But I then remembered, which I'll get into, something that I was like, actually, this is something quite regular to my life.
Okay.
I think you would find it
Curious.
quite interesting. I think you, the listeners, will find it interesting as well. And I don't think I've really gone into... We definitely haven't had a topic about this.
Okay, cool. That's nice.
I've mentioned it in passing, but I thought, let's dedicate a topic to
Let's
this.
give it space and time to
Exactly.
this idea.
So I want to talk about relationship check-ins.
Oh, interesting. Love
So
that.
a relationship
I know you love
check-in.
these check-ins.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I love a
love
check-in.
this.
So I
Yeah.
thought, and you guys seem to love anything to do with like dating, relationships, anything like that. They're like our most popular episodes.
Our Familia likes to
Exactly.
listen to us talking
Because I
bullshit
think
about
our Familia is like our age or a bit
Yeah, it's
younger, so
true.
maybe
Yeah, yeah.
dating. So
I think this
I
things
hope
are, yeah.
that, you might want to take notes. I mean, I don't want to be so
Oh.
bold to say that. You want to take
Oh.
notes from
Oh.
a little old us.
I will
But
put in my phone
we've
out
got some
with
tips.
notes.
Exactly. So listen
That's
up
really
if
good.
you are in a relationship or a single Pringle. It also can apply.
Nice. I'm
So-
excited. This is like really cool to talk about these things.
Let's at the beginning start with a little definition of what a couple's check-in is. So the definition
check-in.
is it's a scheduled, intentional conversation where partners discuss the state of their relationship, feelings, and any concerns. So the purpose is to obviously maintain emotional connection and address any issues proactively and align on goals. Frequency can be weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, depending on the couple's needs. So
Like a one-to-one.
it's literally
Like
a one-to-one.
one-to-one with your manager.
It's literally a one-to-one. So
Interesting.
we'll go into kind of like the benefits, the potential drawbacks, how to do a couple's check-in.
That's really interesting, yeah.
But off the top, what do you think about this? What are your initial kind of thoughts and reactions to this? I mean, you know about it initially because me
Yeah.
and my boyfriend do it. So I've mentioned
Yeah,
it
yeah,
before.
yeah.
Other friends, I mean, I actually got this idea from another like close friend of ours who does it with their partner. And I was like, oh, that's such a good idea. So it is something that me and Jorge try to incorporate.
First, like any relationship should have like
Exactly.
check-ins. I think it's a really great
Should
idea.
we do friendship check-ins?
Why not?
Shall we do a little?
think we
Should we
have
do
a
a little friendship check-in
That would be
on
so
the
interesting.
episode? Oh my
We can
god!
do a
Imagine if
friendship
we're
check-in.
like bury it. No.
Like, well, we need another time to talk about this. Bye. But honestly, yeah, I think it's a great idea, and
Yeah.
I think I heard about this recently. Well, maybe like a couple of years ago, when you bought this to me, and like also like a friend we have in common, and like I think that's a really smart way. I feel like putting making something like it's so emotional and like volatile, making it like very logical in a way. I feel like, because I feel sometimes we have so many maybe ideas of things we don't say, of emotions,
So
but
true.
in sitting it and put it like almost in a list,
Yes.
it kind of turns the feeling and the emotions to something a bit more like logical in a way.
That's an interesting point.
I feel,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
you
yeah.
are open to discuss it, because it's kind of like, okay, we have this space where we sit with this list of things and we discuss about them. It's kind of like a safe space. I think it's way
Definitely.
better than just like while you're washing the dishes and like scream to the
Totally.
other person
Yeah.
out of anger because you actually haven't discussed something, you know. So I think it's
Exactly.
quite interesting. And I haven't tried it, but I want to try
Yeah.
more. I wanted to like know more. So
I'm
enlighten
curious.
me, Claire.
So let's go into kind of how you can like propose a couples check-in with
Yeah.
your partner and how you can go about sort of
Yeah.
doing one.
Yeah.
So
without sounding like, I guess,
exactly, like there's a problem. Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
So you want to introduce the idea to your partner, discuss the concept of a regular check-in, ask your partner how they feel about it, find a time and location and stick to it. So obviously you
okay.
might be tempted to put it off or fill those
Okay.
hours with something else, which we all can do.
Kind of like making like an appointment.
Exactly.
Okay.
Get rid of distractions. I think this is key, because I feel like this is kind of like therapy. So for me, when I have therapy, I put my phone on airplane mode.
Yeah,
It's
fair
one
enough.
of the only times, apart from like sleep, that I will put my phone on airplane mode. I don't think I do put my phone on airplane mode in a couples check-in. Oh no, I don't, because I'm reading the questions on my phone.
Okay, fair enough.
But I think that's a good one.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
obviously if you've got kids, like not trying to do it sort of when, you know, the kids are not around.
So you need to be in a
or-
peaceful, like,
Exactly.
focus, like,
Yeah,
space. let's
exactly.
say.
Like try not to look at your phones apart from obviously
Yeah,
to look
yeah,
at the
yeah.
questions. Treat the time as sacred.
Love
So
that
don't put
one.
other things on top of that and allow them to
Okay.
get in the way. This is key. Avoid arguments or fights. These
Okay.
check-ins are not the time to argue with your partner, but rather a chance to work on your relationship. And then kind of what you were talking about initially about the practicality, which was focus on solutions, not problems. So if there is a serious issue, you can have a more in-depth conversation later. So it doesn't have to be super long either. It doesn't. I think that's another key one of
So
like.
ideally, what you would say, like a check-in
Well,
should
from
be...
my research, they were saying 7 to 10 minutes. Me and Jorge
Oh.
definitely do not talk for that of a short time.
You like to talk.
Exactly. We're both quite like yappy
Yeah,
people.
yappy.
So I think yesterday, we actually did a couples check-in yesterday.
Okay.
That's why it popped into my mind.
Perfect.
We actually went out for lunch.
Okay.
And then we were like, oh, we haven't done a couples check-in for a while, because it's not like, oh, we do a couples check-in like every Friday
week,
or
yeah,
something.
yeah,
No.
yeah.
I was like, oh, we haven't done one for a while. Let's do one. And so I think we had a couples check-in for like an hour and a half.
Oh, wow.
But that's because we stay with the question for quite a long time. But I think that's quite dependent on like, I think if your partner is like hesitant to do it, maybe you can say like, look, it's literally going to be half an hour. It's not going to be like an hour and a half or something like that. That's a tip that I would give.
Yeah. So I was thinking like, this is something that I haven't practiced yet, but I think
Okay.
I'm very curious to kind of like give it a go.
Okay.
So what's your like process to approach a couples check-in? Like, where do you start?
Okay.
How you approach it? How you
Yeah.
proceed?
So
conclusions.
we basically just like agree on one, and then I kind of use like different websites, to be completely honest. In preparation for this episode, I have got some more questions that we actually haven't done, but they were more or less the same, which I'll go into. But I think yesterday's,
Like
it
talking
was like a
points.
random, a random website. I'll put the link of the one that I use, but
Yeah.
once again, just to say like I've used like 3 or 4 different ones, but
Okay.
they're more or less the same topics. So you end up kind of talking about like, I'm just thinking off the top of my head what we spoke about in terms of questions. I think we did like, what are we doing well at the moment?
Okay.
What could we be doing better? How are we doing financially, if you're quite financially intertwined? How are we doing sexually? What else was there? Like, what are we like looking forward to? Do we have any like are your big plans for the week? Or like, what are my big plans
that's
for the week?
interesting. So it's not necessarily like I have a issue and I wanted to address it.
I mean, with the question like, what is there anything that I could be doing better? That obviously opens the door for these things.
Yeah.
One thing that I would say with these things are, it's there to make your relationship, your friendship better.
Okay.
It's not
Yeah.
to point holes and like you're being really rubbish or whatever. It's just it's like a sort of safe space to air any frustrations
Yeah.
or also give compliments and
Yeah.
feedback before
Interesting.
things kind of like manifest in a really ugly way.
I was about to ask you, like, what you're saying now, like, have you had like an opportunity that maybe something goes, let's say, wrong and it becomes like an argument?
I don't think so, but I definitely can share one thing that me and Jorge, I mean, I already gave you a slight spoiler on this yesterday, even though you didn't know we were doing a couples check-in, but one area that, the question was, is there anything that's building up resentment for you and then for me? And Jorge actually said, I asked if I could share this. He basically said that we do actually clash quite a lot on meal times.
That's a good problem to have, to be honest.
We really clash, and we literally like wrapped it up by saying, like, I actually said, like, if this is our main problem that we can't agree on dinner time, that's a good problem, so I'm fine with that. And I found that more like a really interesting conversation because you know, my boyfriend is Spanish, I'm British. I just feel like we honestly spoke about that one. We stayed on that question because the only thing building resentment at that time yesterday was the meal times. We literally couldn't wrap it up, like, and I think that's okay. I think there needs to be a point where you say, like, look, you can't solve this in a day. Exactly, like, we'll just have to see how it goes, because I think that's one area where, like, we basically are so culturally different. It's so funny, but like, I just can't understand why you would want to eat dinner at 10:30. I just can't.
It's honestly wild.
It's wild.
I think it's absolutely wild.
It's wild, and he can't understand why I'd want to eat at 7:30. Like,
what if you guys compromise and it's 1 week you eat at 7:30, 1 week you eat at 10?
I'm not eating at 10.
I don't know why I solve everything like that. When everything is too complicated, I'm like, you know what? Let's do half and half. And like,
but would you compromise in that way? If Andis was like, which he wouldn't, but if Andis was like, I want to eat dinner at 10:30 when you're living together, how would you feel about that?
It is complicated because, for example, I know, like, not about dinners, but I know, like, my boyfriend, he doesn't like have breakfast. He doesn't eat breakfast.
He doesn't. That's
and
true.
I do eat breakfast.
Does he not eat breakfast even on the weekends?
On the weekends, yes, but it's like breakfast brunchy.
Because you wake up a bit later.
12, you know, it's not really like a breakfast, but I need a breakfast to survive the mornings, you know. But I'm a bit like, you know what? I cannot force you to eat breakfast if you don't want to. No. And I guess if I need to eat breakfast on my own, I guess that will be it, you know. What can I do?
Exactly.
And I know, like, but that's what I'm thinking. Well, sometimes maybe I can compromise, and when you can compromise, maybe you can have breakfast sometimes with me. I don't know.
But
then you're forcing someone to do something that they don't want.
Breakfast is different though, because probably Monday through to Friday mostly, I don't know, but you're probably eating breakfast at the office / at your desk.
That's
maybe.
True. That's true. Yeah.
Whereas
no,
dinner is a bit more your time with your partner in the week, you know. And I don't want to eat dinner. This, like, I don't want this topic to be about like like the UK versus Spain on dinner time, but like it's a nice time in the week to catch up with your partner and eat dinner together. We kind of landed on 8 p.m. which I know that's him compromising a lot more than me.
You can put 8:30.
Yeah, I think I don't want to. I'll compromise a bit, but not too much, because I feel like just for like health purposes.
Yeah. To be honest, Rogue have dinner
exactly.
that late. I think after 8, it's a bit already getting late.
Don't you find it so energizing? Like I just get so energized when I eat. So I don't want to eat at like 9 or 10.
Yeah. Because I guess, like, I mean, also like small issues and a small problem are as important as the big ones, because all of these small things that are undiscussed, is that a word, or like non-discussed, they build resentment and they build issues. Like, then if you don't discuss them in things like couples check-in, you don't know where this can. Maybe you can be then one day in a dinner with your friends all together, and then one of you will say something like, "Oh yeah, because that one he doesn't like," you know, like
definitely,
you know, like these old married couples that they throw to each other shade or like really like nasty comments in front of everyone, and it's awkward for everyone because they don't talk about it.
It's true.
Something triggers in the middle of a conversation, and then they just shut it out to their partner, and it's so bad because you're basically doing that in front of everyone. It's not a good way to go. So I think this is really important about checking. It's like, it's true. Do it and solve your shit at home.
Exactly.
And talk it when the time is right.
It's the thing,
you know?
and I didn't really know that was a point of. I think resentment is quite a strong word, but I didn't know that was like such a big thing, you know,
a topic,
because you know, so it's good to like, and it's true, it's like, I think the more you have this kind of safe space for talking about things, obviously I think it can be uncomfortable sometimes because also it's quite vulnerable because you're kind of opening yourself up to like feedback in a way, which is always, as you do in a one-to-one, but it is key to kind of like keep that communication going. And I think another thing about this that's helpful is like, I think in like romantic relationships and friendships, we kind of just like tick along.
Yeah.
And unless something like a big rupture happens, you just kind of assume that everything is fine.
I agree.
But then you're like, oh, fuck, I actually didn't know that you were feeling that way. And so it gives it that kind of space to like think and reflect.
You're right, yeah. I feel like normally in relationships, any kind of relationship, I think we prefer to assume that everything is okay and right. So we don't have to work on anything or make things, because in relationships, when you need to confront things, it's a hard thing.
Totally.
It's emotionally tiring, but it's really important, because it's better to just do that and then in the future have an issue and then become a problem, blah blah blah.
Totally.
So I think it's really it's really fascinating, honestly.
It is interesting.
Like when you finish your like check-in, do you take some notes? There's like takeaways, like how it is, like
I think it's interesting because I think how you start acting again normal again.
Like we're not like check-in.
I think that it's interesting because I think, for example, like with me and Jorge, I think we definitely process information differently. I think I process things more on the spot. Like I don't need, of course I will go away and reflect on things in my own time, but I'm more like, okay, cool, this and this. Whereas I think he needs more like reflection time on his own. Yeah. So then we can kind of bring things up again. And I think that's also something, it's like, you know, if you've been talking about something, especially if it's something quite deep, and then your partner comes to you again and says, by the way, I've just had time to think about that thing again. Do you mind if I bring it up? Like, I think that's important and like allow people to do that. Yeah. But we literally just like said, like, is there anything else? And then that's it, basically. Yeah.
Do you think this could be applicable, like, also, well, I mean, it is applicable for friendships as well, but do you think you can do it like maybe, I don't know, just one question every 2 weeks and do kind of like this ritual with friends as well?
So.
It could be even over WhatsApp, right? Maybe you don't need to make a big thing out of it.
Exactly. You're like, it's like, don't make it weird. Don't make it weird.
I just feel like, because, you know, sometimes we have such a busy life, and maybe you don't see your friend, because obviously for partners it's different if you live with your partner, but if not, and it's with friends, sometimes you maybe spend like 1 month or 2 months in London without seeing your friends, or not. So true. Maybe when you see them, it's like in a social environment with a lot of other friends, so you don't have the time to sit one-to-one often. True. So maybe it's possible to do regular check-ins to see where we are.
I think it would be really good with friendships, to be honest, because I feel like, you know, sometimes I think also with friendships, I think we do hold things so much, and then it's only when you have like a big argument and it's like, wait a minute, like
where this shit is coming what from, the fuck bitch?
But we can do it. Should we do a little friendship check-in?
We should do it.
I'm trying to think of I've got some questions which obviously some are not applicable to us as friends. So those are like
the prompts. That's my other question.
Exactly.
You have like you help yourself with a list of prompts.
Exactly. Like, so I'm gonna include like, they're like articles, lists. I'm guessing that now you can use ChatGPT as well. Actually, you can use ChatGPT probably to generate some questions probably like as well.
Psychologists, they come
exactly,
up with
but you want to go in with some questions. You know, it's like journaling, but it's a conversation. You know, like that kind of thing.
Love that.
But friendship wise, I mean, a lot of these are applicable, so I'll just say the question and then you can apply them to your friend or your partner, obviously. So are you ready for this?
I am.
So this is like an example. So I'll ask a question, Enzo will answer for himself, Enzo will ask me, and then nobody. So because obviously this is an episode, we are yappers. We'll just try to keep it short and sweet.
As an example how it can work. Like,
what can I do to make you feel happy and appreciated?
Oh, that's very cute. It's like, what can you do? This is hard. It's like, I need to think about this.
Think fast.
I think you do already most of times.
So cute.
Most of times. That sounded like
you were like, there was this one Wednesday where
you didn't support me enough. It's like, okay. No, I think you do most of. I think like I think we have a lot of reinforcement to each other's friendship.
We do. I think we're good on that.
Yeah, I think we have often like, you know,
true.
like that reinforcement and like positive thing.
It's true. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I feel the same. I don't think there's anything, just trying to think.
But it's interesting, you know, because I think that opens the thing because it makes us think maybe.
Exactly.
And maybe sometimes next time we'll be like, I would like you to support me more on this.
Exactly.
Or,
it's true.
Especially I think depends on the relationship, but I think we are very like, we like to solve things on our own.
True.
We don't like to ask for a lot of help.
No.
So maybe we can be more like, actually like, next time if I need help, like I will ask you, or feel free to ask me.
That's
or like, if you spot it, please, like,
it's true.
Be like, do you need my help?
Yeah.
Because even though I think on friendships or relationships, I think sometimes you assume a lot.
I was exactly going to say the same.
You assume, like,
it's the assumptions.
If they need something, they will tell me. Like, they
so
know
true.
I'm there. Because it's easy to say, like, I'm there for them. I'm there for my friends. I'm there for my family, for my relationships. But I think at the end, when you're going through it, it's really hard to be like, I need your help. You know? Not,
exactly.
Especially with some relationships, maybe it's easier. So I think it's good to not assume.
It's very true.
It not just doesn't, you know.
One thing I find hard about friendships in general, do you find this? I don't know. We're once again, look at us like going off track.
Yeah.
We'll get back to the list in a second, which I'm going to include anyway. So you've got a nice little list to start off with. But I get really nervous about, because I think I've been bitten by this in the past with friends. I've said something and they don't tell me and they're carrying it.
Okay.
That like, that's something I don't know. Like, actually, I've said something wrong, or I've said something that's pissed them off. Like, and that's one thing. That's one reason I think we've been able to be friends for so long. Is I think that we're able to, or maybe not. Maybe we just joke our way through it. Maybe we don't actually say like, actually, that really hurt my feelings when you said that. I just don't see us doing that. But that worries me. Not particularly about you, but
I understand. Yeah.
I do think. That's one thing I get a bit like, oh God, it's
a hard one because it makes me think this as a friendship or relationships. Like how much of these things you want to bring in like in a relationship check-in, for example. Like how, like, shall you pick up on everything that bothers you or shall you just let some things go? Which I think is like a really difficult position to be in a relationship. Like sometimes I think like if you really made a deal out of every single thing, like will you live at peace?
But then I think it's that border of being avoidant.
Yeah.
Or it's like if something's quite recurrent and you're like, oh look, that bothers me again. It's the same thing. Because I think often we start to be, say you're annoyed with your partner or your friend, it always becomes the same thing like when you really break it down. It's like actually it's not a million different things. It's just the same thing. It's the same theme. So therefore I would say yes, it actually is worth bringing that up. Like for example, if like, I don't know, like if you feel like controlled by your boyfriend or something, but it's like, it's not that obvious, but then you're like, oh, that's kind of like a dark example, but like, but you can feel controlled on like a more smaller level. There's in a way.
Different ways to feel
and it's like, he asked me who I was texting, or like he said like, you know, and then I think it all then becomes like the same theme. Does that make sense? So then I do think it is worth, because I think if you keep on swallowing things all the time, I think that's where shit really explodes. So this is where I think this is a really helpful tool, because it forces you to say like, actually, like I didn't like the way you said that to me. I didn't like the way you said that to me, and so
words
literally
it is interesting because it kind of makes me think of like how active we need to be in our relationships.
Totally.
Which it is like a thing, and I think we've touched on this in the past. Like that's why a lot of people, the older they get, they have less and less and less relationships and friends and people around them, because people get tired and they don't really, maybe they don't work on that muscle of like using tools like check-ins or whatever, or they don't work on the thing of like constantly reviewing their relationships, because I think that you develop, you know, it's not like you start out of nowhere, because it is hard sometimes, you know, but it is like a practice basically, and you brush your teeth, I guess.
Exactly. And it is hard to say like, actually that upset me or something like that. That is hard, especially if you're more on the avoidance side, as I think we both are. That actually takes a lot. Like it takes a lot for me to bring an issue to a friend, or to have a difficult conversation. Like that's not easy for me.
Yeah, you
for
don't
example,
feel sometimes could be like, oh, this is tiring to just
absolutely,
to open the conversation of like,
absolutely.
oh,
but then I also think like, okay, it's probably worth it in the long run, because I think my nature, maybe your nature, I don't know, but it's more like I'd rather just be like, oh, it's fine, but that's avoidance at the end. So
it's true.
You know,
so will you say like in this like check-ins, will you even bring really 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 small things because before they become a monster?
Let me think.
Like,
Fine.
Like, let's say something, I don't know, I'm trying to think something ridiculous, but imagine that, I don't know, like Jorge, your boyfriend, is wearing something that it's fucking ugly, and you hate the thing that he's wearing. You couldn't find, and he has like something that he always does around his clothing, I don't know, and you don't like it, and you want to have the safe space to tell him because you know he will get very like frustrated or very like defensive about it. Do you think you will bring it? But it's something really ridiculous because at the end it's a t-shirt. I don't know.
I will say like not to like pat myself on the back, but I think I'm not, because I think I had this example recently because I went on holiday recently, and when I came back, Jorge had shaved his beard really short.
Okay.
And I was like thinking internally, like,
shall I say something?
Because I like more of a full beard, not too much, but I think I just prefer that. And also, it's so not okay because it's like I was thinking, no, Claire, because it's not your body.
Contain
literally,
self
but
right
I literally
now,
was like, I don't like your beard.
Running away, closing the door. I was thinking about something. What if it's something really like awkward and like strange because it's very humanly as well? But what if your partner like farts a lot? And farts because, I don't know, he has like a fart issue. I don't know, it just farts a lot. He doesn't give a shit whatever that you are,
Literally.
you know, like don't have like that level of respect. Because I guess when you're in a relationship for a really long time, maybe some boundaries are crossed because you're basically living with the other person, you know? But maybe you're feeling like your partner is like farting a lot without even apologizing.
Exactly.
Maybe like, oh, sorry, not even. So how this would be like a good thing to bring in the couples like check in?
I think so, definitely.
Okay.
I definitely think I would bring that up in the moment though. But I think exactly.
Like, you fucking bastard pig. You don't fart my face.
But I think that's a perfect example. I think if there's, you know, or like it's a good opportunity. Like if there's something like non-jokey that's like low key, like even if it's something like, it's really stereotypical to say, but you know, let's say you start living with Andis and then you're taking the bins out more than Andis, and it's actually, you're like, oh,
this could be
wait a second, like that's actually really annoying me, like he never, or Andis never does the dishwasher or something, whatever, you know, because we all fall into roles kind of more or less when you start, you know. But I think that would be the perfect example.
It's funny that you bring this up because I saw literally a reel this morning, which I think it was a bit stereotypical, but it's around this, I feel. So it was this like was this lady going down the stairs, and she was pissed leaving the house, and the boyfriend was like, he was passing by the frame, he was like, oh, you are going out, you didn't tell me you're going out. And she was like, well, you're not taking the bin bags, you never take them, I'm always taking them, so I'll do whatever I want if you do whatever you want. So one of these reels like funny stereotypical like relationship thing is, but it was funny because that could be, honestly, things like that, it could be a really big issue, like something as stupid as, you know, if you take the responsibility of do something which is a chore it's so annoying, it's boring, no one wants to do it, but if you start doing it, you create resentment. It would be a good point, because it can become that. When I saw that reel, it was like, I can see like couples being like, you never take the fucking bins, I'm fucking tired, blah 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 blah. It's always the same, so you know, you can get to that point.
So I think that's a good opportunity. And I was actually thinking like another relationship where we're talking about this, apart from friendship and relationship, hopefully you will be friends with them, but I feel like if you are living in like a flatmate situation, I think this is actually a really good exercise. Because, you know, like you can have so much conflict with flatmates. I think we've both been lucky with our housemates, honestly, in the past, but it can, you know, when I was at uni, there used to be like terrible conflict of exactly those things. Like, you never take the bin out, you stole my ketchup, you so much this and this. And like, actually, like, I think you can call it, actually, I think in the past, I remember somebody calling it like a house meeting.
Interesting.
And I think it's basically reassess. This again. It's literally like, okay, cool, like, is there anything? Because it might be like, I had no idea that it was annoying you so much that you take, you're right, you always take the bin out. God, I'm so sorry, let me make an effort. And then that's argument avoided, you know?
You're so right, because I think, again, going back to assuming, we assume a lot of things. And then because maybe you take the bins out, whatever you do normally, I may think like, well, I think she's fine with it. Exactly. She likes to do it. Yeah. Maybe you're not. Or maybe you are, but you would like to be acknowledged of like, yeah, I'm fine, but don't think that I'm doing this. And you know, like, sometimes you just need to be like, thank you for doing. Let me know if you want me to do it sometimes. And that's it. Maybe you would be like, no, I'm fine. But you're not feeling like you don't even give the other person, like, how you say, like, attention. Like, not attention, like
gratitude in a
gratitude
way.
as well. So I think that applies to many things.
Definitely. So another question that you can ask, what do you want to accomplish together in the future?
What you want to accomplish together in the future, Claire? You tell me.
Well, the poddy. We've got the poddy. The poddy is our little baby. So I think just growing the poddy, basically. I think we cannot do more.
Yeah, honestly.
Exactly. Like, there's only 2 of us. I'm like, we cannot possibly do more. I would like to, for the podcast, we have somebody helping us. But a goal that I have is I would like to have somebody working with us more on a full-time basis. I would love us to have a studio. 100%. That would be a goal, but they're all poddy goals. So I feel like we've got quite a lot of like clear goals for the poddy.
I think we do check-ins for the podcast. Like,
we do every new season. We do a check-in basically, which I really think is really important, because I do believe that's enabled us to really like streamline our. I hate this wanky like language, but like streamline our workflow. But
streamline our workflow.
But it's true. It's like, even if it's not your main job, a lot of work goes into running, and you need to kind of, you also need to make sure, like, I think we've been quite lucky because I think we haven't had, thank God, any tension about the poddy, but you're basically working together, and like we have our own roles and responsibilities and all of that stuff. What about you? Poddy, more of the same.
Yeah, it's the same, to be honest. So I think it's really good to kind of like, I think the check-ins are good, because I think when we do the check-ins, this is like, let's say in a professional level. But I think when we do the check-in, we kind of like really test where we are and which waters are we navigating.
Exactly.
And I think it really helps to be like, I think like fit each other's ambitions and dreams as well.
So true.
And I think that could apply also for a relationship. Like when you do these check-ins, it's like, oh, now you bring that up, like, that's something that actually I would like to do as well. So how we work on that. I think it's honestly like a open door for so many things.
Definitely.
Love the check-ins.
It's very like, and there's a lot more questions which I think
start doing check-ins with every fucking one. Get ready. It's like,
and this is going to be like, okay, it's honestly not that deep. Like, that's what I would say. It's just literally like, it's not even like a review. It's just like, how are we doing? Like, is there anything I can do better? Like, what are you loving about this and all of that? I have a question for you. Like, do you think, would you be nervous to bring this to your relationship? Would it be a bit daunting for you? Do you do an element of this anyway? So I'm literally asking so many questions in one. And do you think, because you're going to be moving in with your boyfriend soon, like, this is something that would be like, because I personally feel that like that's a good time to like start to implement it, because it's a real shift in a way, not in a bad way necessarily, but it will be, because every morning it's like, there you are. There you are again. You're not choosing when to see them. They're always there then. From then
they're always there. They're always there.
So what do you think?
No, I do think like, and I think I've been thinking about it. It's like, I've been thinking about it. So I was like, oh my God. But I think it really crossed my mind that the fact that, I'm going to be moving soon with my partner. So I do think it would be really nice to have these check-ins. And I think I'm really willing to do them. So be ready. If you're watching. No, I think it's really important, because it's not only like, especially like, I've been living on, and I think this applies to everyone that is in the same situation. I've been living on my own with a flatmate, obviously, but I've been living on my own for so long time. He has been living on my own for so long time. So it's kind of like, I don't remember the last time I lived with a partner. I don't
8 or 9
remember.
years.
That was so long ago. So it's kind of, you need to meet in the middle in so many like situations, places, like ways you do things, like it's literally everything. You literally to revisit your life in every single
very true
corner, I guess. It's sounds dramatic, but it is. So I think I'm really willing to do these check-ins to kind of like, especially at the beginning, to make sure, so you make sure like you are standing in the same like
totally
the same like path, because it can be, the thing, as you were saying, like taking the bins out, like that could be an issue.
Exactly,
you know? Like,
little things.
It could be a trigger. Powerful
Exactly.
tool, Claire.
So
thank you so much for bringing this.
You're welcome. Thank
really
you. And I
like
loved
it.
our little friendship check-in. It was very cute. So thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Any final thoughts?
Yeah. No, I'm thinking I'm gonna.
It's like, I was like, what's this bitch saying?
I need to tell you, Claire. I need to check in now. No, like, yeah, I think I'm really willing to try. I think like everyone should add this in one way to another.
I can't wait to hear how your first couples check-in goes.
I will let you know.
Imagine if you're like, no, we like unveiled this whole thing. But it would be very interesting to, you know, within reason, because some things are private to the couple, but it's very interesting to see how it like helps.
Yeah, actually I will bring this up in the future and see, like, I think like the learnings from this and like share it with you guys. But I think this made me think about like
perfect,
how we need to like put more time to things that deserve
dedicated time. Exactly, to the relationship.
Dedication is everything, every single thing,
exactly,
right?
Distraction free time. So
love that.
There we go. So once again, all of the resources are going to be linked. Do let us know if you try this with your partner, with your friend, with your housemate, family members as well, I guess. That's unreal. I'm getting a whole thing of exactly, your situationship. Imagine if you bring this to your situationship. Like, what can I do to make you feel?
You never know, right? Maybe a situationship is more complex than you think it is, and then you need to like reassess how much of the situationship you are. So there you go.
Very true. Very, very true.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for watching and listening.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Claire, for bringing this. I love this topic.
You're welcome. We'll see you on the next one.
Everyone likes it as well.
Totally. Well,
see you next time. See ya. Bye bye.